Hi, my name is Daniel Zomadrid. I'm from Section B and code 2107. So today I'm gonna talk about what is a friend and how can we maintain that friendship with him and how to grow up with some new friends. So everybody can tell you what is a friend. So a friend it can be a person who is willing to take me the way I am. Like if that person is accepting this as a definition or the word. May I quickly suggest that we are something less than a real friend if we leave a person the same way to find him. So there seems to be a misunderstanding on the part of some men today as to what it means to be a friend. Like acts of a friend should result in self-improvement, better attitudes, comfortable consolation, or even self-respect. There certainly the word friend is misused if it's identified with a person who contributes to our delinquents, misery, and heartaches. This means about that when persons don't want a better things for you, like he tries to do a misery on your life and he don't want to see you growing. When we make a man feel he is wanted, his whole attitude change. Like if I want a person, he will notice and he will know how comfortable I can feel when I'm with him, or he can feel when we are together. That's like a good feeling and something you can grow up with your friendship and try to feel better each time. Our friendships will be recognizable if our actions and attitudes result in improvement and independence. Like we can also, if we have a friend, that doesn't mean we cannot do something by our own. He can help us, but we always should take count that we must do most of the things by ourselves, and when we need a help we can count on that friend, and he will be always by our side and helping us to do many works. And we can all of us might think that we might be a terrible friend and not even realize it. That should really scare us, and we should take note about that. You know what? That right now you should be sweating profusely, pacing the floor, and asking yourself whether or not you know how to be a good friend. Sometimes our actions and the words that escape our mouth stops going through a filter. Then eventually we're not even conscious of how horrible we are as a person, as a friend, as a lover, or whatever you can talk to any person. How you can feel when you don't do acts correctly for them. We get so used to our friends that we become insensitive to the things we say and do. Sure, that level of comfort can be a good thing, but at the same time a lot of ugliness can start leaking out. It could be a reflection of the person you really are, but I'm not going to get into all of that. And we also have some signs that we might be a bad friend or a person who don't feel good with another guy and doesn't help him in anything. So one of them, it's your project your own negative qualities onto them, that after a while you start assuming that because you think a certain way. Your friends and others also do it. For example, if you're prone to talk about others behind their back, then you assume everyone else does the same. Like if I know a secret for a person or to my friend, I will not gonna say to everyone because he trusts on me and I must trust on him also. That no one knows it, and you just have that secret with you. Eventually you begin to blame others and talk about how they went and did something even though they never did. Sometimes you start lying and telling other things to persons. When you only spend time with them when you need something, Like if for example, at a school or university, if you need a homework, you look for that person just because you need that homework. But that must not be like that. You should share him, and when he helps you, you also must tell him like, whatever you need, you can count on me, and I will help you. Or even go for a dinner or have fun and invite him to other activities, and don't look for him just when you need a homework or something of work. Like when you evade all responsibilities and leave them to holding in all. This means when we have a friend, like we are working together, and then someone calls you and say, hey, let's go and hang out, let's go in for dinner or something, and you leave that person at home or at the work finishing your work, and that's not something we can call a friend. So we should take note about that and try to change if we are not doing it well. You never think about how they may feel, because if it's your best friend, he will tell you, no, okay, it's okay, go on. But inside of him, his feelings will be like, he just left me here and I wouldn't do that. I will help him to finish, and then we could go and hang out, maybe both of us. But many people, unfortunately, they don't think that way, so that's something real bad, and it hurts many people's, and they don't try to work on that and to be better. So now I'm gonna talk about how to be a good friend, like things you must do and you must continue doing between all of those years about friendship. So we must make sure they are okay the moments you sense something wrong. Like it's easy to go overboard, but when tactful, it can mean the world to them. When you should concern it, send them a text, a phone call, or surprise them by showing up at their front door. Make an excuse to spend time with them. This means you have to show advice down their throat. It just means showing you want them to be okay. It's sharing with him, like watching a movie, passing time with him, doing sports, or try to invest time with him, doing many things you can, like knowing when to be serious and when to be a goofy person. This means when your friend it's having a problem, you must be a serious person. You must take it serious, and like it's when it's time to be serious, you get down to business, and you must not goofing off, no sheep attempt, and being funny to avoid the real issues. You may argue from time to time, and that's alright, it's natural. Be matter and aim and finding common ground instead of trying to divert the attention elsewhere. And there are times to be messing around, but it gets tiring for others. If you don't know how or when to turn it off, if you can know how can others trust you enough to share important things with you. Like there's are many moments in which we should know and we should understand if we can be a serious person or a goofy person. Other one can be don't give up on them during their darkness hours. This means when they are having a really big problem, or in the works or something, they need like a left hand or your best friend to help you, like telling you, like for example, if let's say I'm working and I don't have anyone at home who can bring me a food, and I don't have any food and I cannot get out of work. If I call the person, hey, can you bring me food, I'm hungry and I can get out of work, so that friend will quickly go buy you some food and give it to you so you can be okay and continue working. And it's also make them feel wanted. This means you listen to everyone they say intentionally. You might show it in being around them. Hell, sometimes even say it alright. You're an awesome friend. It's not as fun where you're not here, or like I hanging out with you. You know it? You should be comfortable enough together to be blunt about it feelings and weird. So about all the things I've just told you, this is something very good, and we should take into account all of these small topics and like steps we could take to follow up and continue with a good friendship, because we don't know when we will need his help. And don't if we don't try to figure out and try to maintain this alliance and friendship, it will not work, and you will don't have any good friends. Thank you.